It was close to midnight when I booked a ride. The city was quieter than usual, neon signs buzzing, empty streets stretching ahead like ribbons of silence. I just wanted to get home. But that night, I ended up with a story I still carry in my chest. The driver who arrived wasn't young. His hair was streaked with gray, and his auto looked like it had seen years of struggle. I smiled politely, climbed in, and gave the address. He nodded, but his eyes, they carried a heaviness, like someone who had been awake for days. At first, we rode in silence, the hum of the engine, the streetlights rushing past. Then he asked softly, almost apologetically, "Do you mind if I share something?" I nodded. And just like that, the night turned into a confession booth on three wheels. He told me about his family, a wife who was ill, medical bills that drowned their savings, a daughter in school who dreamed of becoming a doctor, but fees were climbing higher each year. He drove all day, sometimes all night, trying to stitch together enough money to keep hope alive. I listened, stunned by the way he spoke. Not bitter, not angry, just tired. And proud. Proud that, despite the weight on his shoulders, he was still fighting for his daughter's dream. At one red light, he laughed suddenly. "You know," he said, "my girl studies harder than anyone I've seen. Sometimes she stays up so late that I fall asleep at the table watching her books. She tells me, 'Papa, one day I'll buy you a car so you don't have to drive this old auto anymore.'" His voice cracked when he repeated her words. I swallowed hard. The traffic light turned green, but I wished it hadn't. I wished we could stay still and let him talk until the night faded into dawn. Somewhere on that empty road, I realized I wasn't just a passenger anymore. I was carrying a piece of his fight, his exhaustion, his faith in his daughter. When we reached my stop, I pulled out money for the fare. He shook his head. "No extra," he insisted. But I couldn't just leave it there. I added more, slipped it into his hand, and said, "For her books." For a moment, he stared at me as if he couldn't speak. Then, with tears shining in his tired eyes, he whispered, "Thank you. People don't usually listen. Tonight, you did." As I stepped out, the auto rattled away into the dark, carrying a man who refused to give up and a dream bigger than his struggles. That night, I didn't just ride home. I rode through someone's battle, someone's hope, someone's endless love for his child. And in a world that often feels cold, his story reminded me that humanity still flickers, even in the quiet of a midnight ride.